I'm going to explain that ridiculous title and give you some concrete tips you can use to have a good bull run and avoid getting destroyed, as many others did in 2021, so you guys have 6 to 18 months to get wealthy in cryptocurrency. But it will be somewhat of a rabbit hole. So bear with me, people, but I guarantee you'll end up with some concrete outcomes. One of the biggest misunderstandings around cryptocurrencies is that everyone believes you make all of your money during bull markets. And nothing could be further from the truth than that. In theory, it makes sense, doesn't it? And it makes sense rationally. And when I first started investing in cryptocurrencies, I used to believe there were two, but it couldn't be further from the truth given that, when you stop to think about it, you can make money in a bull market, but you have to buy it in a bear market, right? Since you lose money if you don't buy and win money if you buy during a bull market. The greatest distinction is that, thus it works both ways. But in a bear market, you actually make money since you have to put in the work now in order to reap the rewards afterwards. I hope that makes sense because a lot of people just watch from the sidelines for a very long time before they finally go in and claim, "Hey, I didn't make any money." Yes, as you made the incorrect purchase. Therefore, the bear market is when you profit the most. Now that we've gone through the cycle, I honestly believe that the same misconception will keep coming out. So let me to explain why you profit so greatly during a bad market. 3 instances right. A theorem about Bitcoin and gaming gala? Really easy. You might now debate when the bear market began, etc. But it really doesn't matter since, as I mentioned, you still have 6 to 18 months to go. Now, in my opinion, it is evident that you wish to be purchasing. I've been dying already, right? I'm already halfway through my season. If we go a little lower, I honestly don't care. But you can observe right sideways movement here. Yes, there were COVID laws, among other things. But it's clear that those are black swan incidents. Nobody anticipated it, but they obviously performed well today. So, you did have all these genuinely long years to buy, correct? After that, we took off. But suppose you were continuously nibbling while you were here. You put in a lot of effort here, but you didn't earn any money. Even though we have these low pricing, the majority of individuals wait impatiently for their braces because they are afraid of the large dumping. They begin buying up here and continue buying up here, and guess what they discover when they receive their short response? Over and over again, the same thing occurs. Here you go if your chart is exactly the same roundabout. All coins, regardless of size, will move extremely quickly. But however, Gala Games, this chart doesn't really show anything because it was just submitted for review right before the bull market began. However, you had all this sideways movement before suddenly, your 10x appeared. It plummeted all the way down once people started buying it here at the top. The wonderful thing is that you don't have to answer this precisely, you understand, guys. However, the cause for this grave error and the confusion is that spectators are waiting for the ideal entry to enter from the sidelines. There is no such thing as a perfect entry, as we all know. Right. Nobody is able to timing it precisely. The entire situation is that you just nip over Neverland, across Nippon, across numerous clients, and then, bam, you're off, right? Doing nothing is something you don't want to do. If you don't wait for the ideal entrance, you'll see declines like these. We could go lower if it isn't low enough, right? It rises again, then disappears. And he starts making purchases here. That is the distinction, correct? And as I previously stated, these guys will wait interminably, despite purchasing at top prices, just like it did in 2021. There are a few ways to approach this advertisement now that you have 6 to 18 months until the market fall and the cycle resumes. And that's precisely what I've been doing for the past few weeks, so DCA your top alternatives with what you can afford. When purchasing Bitcoin, keep in mind that some people choose not to do so because they lack sufficient funds. It won't truly provide astronomical profits, and I completely understand why I'm here as well. However, you are not need to use any expensive methods or finances. It's as easy as making regular payments to you. Likewise, Holderness. Oh, I nearly forgot, just a brief aside. Off topic, I recently received sponsorship from a reliable crypto exchange. I realize it's absurd, but I promise to mention these guys. And their spending is they came up in a finance-related video that I saw after mentioning them the other day. Am I right? I was unable to make any more purchases because of their refusal. They were kind enough to allow me to withdraw. Thank you, CZ. But they wouldn't let me regularly bury, so I was kind of stuck with this whole idea that I'm discussing here. I didn't want to use Coinbase because the fees are a joke. Obviously, Binance can't use them. My other go-to was FTX, but we all know what happened to them. Additionally, your KuCoin. Additionally, Utilize. I believe they are still alive, but I required a legitimate someone from whom I could come in and obtain the FL, if you follow. So, I suppose these individuals saw the video and sponsored me. And they did want to work with me. And yes, it's really, really good. And as I already mentioned, Nance did a full KYC on me. Therefore, they had no justification for doing that. They received an address and bank information. Even though they did everything correctly, they still wanted to play this awful game. I also read the comments in the part below. They were pretty accustomed to it. Therefore, I thought, hey, this is not good. I must bring the FL here. In any case, I was screwed because I was unable to purchase, therefore they are now formally a part of the channel. It's hilarious because I was just telling my girlfriend that Messi is also sponsored here but received $20 million. And regrettably, I forgot why I enjoy them. 5th largest cryptocurrency exchange. They are not a little business, so to speak. About 20 million people use them regularly. They have, I believe, a vast fund worth around $3 billion. Right. There are reserves in total. So, it's enormous. Additionally, they have exceptionally low costs and up to 225x leverage on the worldwide exchange futures markets. If you're a novice, avoid using these guys because they are partners with really powerful individuals like Messi. I'm not in this to advocate for leverage. I hope you guys understand that I'm the real deal, and I'm not advising you to go use leverage. Thus, avoid using this. If it makes sense, this is only for hodling, etc., buying it and then getting their fault. I didn't have to spend my time because KYC is optional, and you can still use it if you're using more than 2 services. If you're moving, I believe you will need to complete the KYC, but you don't have it, which is excellent. Additionally, they provide a protection fund to protect your assets from hacks. Therefore, I'll continue to include these guys in descriptions. Like I stated, I believe using my code will net you some cash, but once again, this is the most crucial detail. Nance asked me why I wasn't huddling with them when the wind allowed me to buy more. Once more, any crypto at this time obeys. So I'll log on here, get my weekly DCS, and raise them excessively, is I right? I'm not here to trade stocks for profit. I find that to be extremely awful. But obviously, I need someone who can, actually complete the assignment. I can't accomplish anything if I simply sit here without engaging in any conversation. If that makes sense, I need a place to start the money flowing. However, just keep in mind that none of these businesses are going to vanish tomorrow. I've just logged into my tracer, so I feel really confident with that. I obviously got screwed for Celsius and other factors. I therefore oppose huddling during any encounters. At the moment, when I take my gains, I'll bring them back and hire them. But if you understand what I mean, I require that connection. Because if you don't have an exchange, you can't undertake any of the difficult job, right? In addition, I don't want to pay Coinbase outrageous fees if they decide not to continue working with me. And Coinbase is definitely cumbersome. My opinion is, this is incredibly clean. I enjoy the objective, even though it is clearly Bitboy dirty. They certainly have a lot of money. In order for me to trust them with buys, swaps, sales, etc. 2. Let me give you guys a real suggestion to get ready for the market bull run that is coming in the next year or so. And as I mentioned, you guys ought to be working on this now, right? First piece of advice. Refrain from giving AF if your coin drops in a day. I enjoy making purchases when the market is down because I always make more money. But I would still prefer this even if the days were consistently crimson. You're not aiming to obtain immediate success since you need to understand your guys. Whether you're not a day trader, you probably don't care if the value of your coin decreases. This implies that for every dollar you spend, you may buy much more with your DCNN. In other words, we'll discuss that when we are selling and making a profit. We are rewarded for maintaining our composure and refraining from selling out of panic because we need to monitor the market 6 times an hour to see if we are back in the black. So, gentlemen, if you look at any example, don't worry if your coins are down 3% today or something. Bitcoin and this place don't have any red days. However, does it really matter? It is irrelevant. You shouldn't be making purchases on these massive pumps. Once more, these substantial bid pumps always rise and always fall. However, it's your DC, so you may expect that some average. It shouldn't thus really matter. Right. Second, be spread extremely, very crucial since you can accomplish all the difficult work by constantly doing whatever it was that you people used to do on binary days without selling. However, if you're 100% in one coin, this can undo all of your hard work. I personally enjoy 5 to 10 altcoins, as you guys know, or if you're new to this channel. It's too high or too low, according to some. But you do know that's what I prefer to do. As long as there are more than one, there is no predetermined number, correct? With just a few, you can have more laser focus. Of course, you have the option to invest more. Therefore, if you just have a limited quantity of money and a limited number of alternative currencies, you can merely focus entirely on those coins. But once more, people, you always want to have multiple alternative coins because you don't want to win. Avoid becoming the Solana who was damaged. Despite the fact that Solana still has a chance to return. It does, of course. However, you don't want to be the person who just lets things happen. It never returns. Right. Because you are capable of handling all the difficult labor. As I mentioned, as long as DC continues, everything else should be fine. But it doesn't matter if it's decent for the wrong client, right? I prefer a range of 5 to 10, so. And the fact that it's essentially always guaranteed to produce money was a lovely thing. While you're making investments during bear markets. Of course, not all of the profits you're taking are from admin coins. The third piece of advice is to pocket your profits. The hard work is all done by you. You have been outstanding. Coins are up 10 times, while BTC is up a pleasant 5 times on your modest caps. Some people have passed away and others are 50 times older. Some will, as I indicated, reach 0. Some people might disagree, but if you're happy with me going to 0, you'll still win, you know. With us, you'll still succeed brilliantly. And that's a lovely aspect about being dispersed. The issue is that you're still sitting there. Remove your chips from the game and purchase the NFL. You've succeeded and outperformed everyone else. You already have 50 all-X pumps in your little caps, so there's no need to wait for another one that takes place in just 2 days. Get the FL and enjoy it before it explodes because you can do this repeatedly. And keep in mind that those who believe you can profit from bull markets are always those who wait for the ideal entry points and never buy, or who buy the tops because they prefer to form a when you have 6 to 18 months. This is the better way.